There is a lack of graciousness in our politics. We see it every day when we pick up our morning newspaper or watch the evening news broadcast. I would like us to go back to 1969 and see why graciousness can exist in politics and why it has value. In 1968, Richard Nixon was running against Humphrey for the presidency. Prime Minister Harold Wilson will think that Nixon will lose, Humphrey will win, and to make that special relationship work even better between Britain and the United States, he places into the ambassadorial role to the United States a man by the name of John Freeman. Freeman was a friend with Humphrey. Thereby, there was this understanding that relationships and that special relationship between the two nations would only be better insulated by having this partnership. But John Freeman, after the gubernatorial race in 1962, where Richard Nixon loses, excoriates him by saying that Nixon had no principle and the voters of California were wise to reject him. Nixon does win, of course, the 1968 presidential election, and during his first trip overseas to Europe in the early part of 1969, will land in Britain, and there will be one of these huge dinners where all people gather, glasses are raised, toasts are made. It could have been tense, it could have been awful, but Richard Nixon didn't allow it to go down that road. John Freeman was there, and when it was time for Richard Nixon to get up and make a toast, he said, "I would like to think that there is a new John Freeman and there is a new Richard Nixon. He's a new diplomat and I'm the new statesman." It was one of those wonderful bring it together type moments. Richard Nixon will sit down and Wilson will write on Richard Nixon's menu something that should be recorded and made known. He said that no one is guaranteed to be born a lord. It is possible, you've shown it, to be born a gentleman. Graciousness is something that we don't value in our politics anymore. We don't exercise it. The politicians like to talk past each other and be rhetorically driven with each other, but we need to lift up and understand that graciousness has a point and a place in our politics. Something to think about. Thanks for listening.